Hi, I'm Holly Grey. I'm Exabeam CFO. I've been here for about a year, and I bring to Exabeam 20 plus years of experience working in both public and private companies. And I'm thrilled to join Exabeam, where we're working with our customers to modernize their approach to cybersecurity. This landscape is changing, almost on a daily basis in terms of how the threats are coming into our customers' environments. And so really working with them to enable their security operations centers or SOCs to adapt to this ever-changing environment is really our core mission. The cybersecurity landscape is definitely becoming more critical to companies' environments. It really is now, I feel like, a matter of when you're attacked, not if. And I might be a little biased working at Exabeam, but I think our solution is really well positioned to help customers combat that ever-changing landscape. I think one is the first kind of core piece, and I would think of them in terms of layers, but that first layer is being able to collect data at scale. There is more and more data that's being collected. That means it needs to be analyzed and stored, et cetera. So being able to get that data in at scale is really important. Second is then what do you do with that data? And our technology utilizes machines to help do some of the analytics. And so the advantage of that is machines can work 24/7. They aren't like you and me, where they require some rest in between. So that enables us to, once we've ingested all that data, really crank through analyzing it. And the third piece is our behavioral analytics engine. And one of the differentiators for Exabeam is that behavioral analytics engine can sit on top of our SIM that I was just talking about that ingests data at scale, but it can also sit on top of other third-party companies' SIMs as well. And I think really one of the differentiators for Exabeam, and especially in today's world where we are seeing more and more breaches happen via compromised credentials, is that our analytics engine helps us to understand and see normal. So what I mean by that is, I'll use a real life example. For me, I've either had historically been accessing our company and logging in via my home workspace or at the office. And I did my first business trip in May to London, and within a few hours got a ping from one of our security analysts saying, "Hey, we see you logging in from somewhere you haven't logged in from before. Is this really you?" And so our behavioral analytics engine takes kind of the data that is associated with employee ABC and enables them to, and enables our technology to see, here's what those user credentials normally do. And so if and when those credentials are compromised, which in a 2022 Verizon DBI report, 93% of cyber attacks today are through compromised credentials. By understanding normal, we can see when that employee ABC is doing something that is abnormal, is accessing things that they historically haven't accessed, are accessing things from two different locations in the world at the same time, which would be impossible. So I think that is where Exabeam really differentiates itself in terms of being able to see all that and boil it up with our risk algorithms to really kind of put it on a silver platter for company security analysts to see that and not have to cull through the logs and logs and logs of data looking for that needle in a haystack. It's given to them to go and specifically start to look at. So it's enabling companies, security analysts to be smarter, more efficient versus spending hours upon hours just culling through a whole bunch of data. I think when I first started at Exabeam, certainly, look, and any company you start at, there's going to be surprises, both positive and negative. For me personally, starting at Exabeam when I started last fall, I think one of the biggest challenges I had was the first time I was starting a company during a worldwide pandemic. So for me, I personally view one of a company's biggest assets is their employees. And so for me personally, to build that rapport and relationships, via Zoom versus being able to walk around an office, it was challenging. But I will say, as I went through and did one-on-ones with every member of my team, I was blown away by the quality of the people and just the ability of Exabeam's culture to thrive so well, even under those trying circumstances that the pandemic brought to the work environment. Exabeam really values diversity. We've got a number of internal ERGs, which I think are really important, because today's world, it's fostering inclusiveness. And I personally, again, believe that the more diversity you have around the table, it yields a better overall solution. And there have been a ton of different reports that have proven that point, where it's about everybody's background is different, and bringing all of those different backgrounds, whether it be male, female, kind of where you're from in the world, kind of what your social economical background is, et cetera, really enables a melting pot of views to be around the table, where the team collectively comes up with a more holistic solution, versus if you've just got kind of a table surrounded by like-minded individuals, there's not going to be that same adaptive thinking. So I personally think that, diversity is really important in terms of the company yielding a better holistic solution. And then that's certainly something, that Exabeam, values, and is an important point that we embrace as part of our culture. Yeah, I think in today's world, certainly post the pandemic, I think for leaders, it's a trying environment. I personally think remote working, kind of in the hybrid environment, is kind of a sweet spot, where you get your time in the office with people, but you get the benefits of working from home. But those benefits of working from home means that you're always connected. You can start your day first thing in the morning with your bowl of cereal and keep going throughout the night. And I try to model this behavior myself, and I certainly tell it to my team, where I think one of the most important things all of us can do is you need to define what is your time, and really embrace that. So for myself, we've got a younger child, and it's really important for me to spend time with her. And so kind of my team knows that kind of 5:30 to 8 window, when she comes home from school, and it's family dinner, is really important to me. And we sit down every night and talk about our days. And you really need to kind of be all in on your time, because we all know we're all in our work time. And if you don't really kind of work hard to set up those boundaries, very quickly you can kind of be sucked into work all the time. And I think that it's very difficult to do everything that is asked of all of us, kind of 100% all the time. So really bifurcating between, this is 100% me time versus 100% work time, I think is something that I encourage, everybody on my team to do. And like I said, I work really hard to try and model that behavior from the top.